The small black holes actually will evaporate.
Okay.
Okay, using Hawking radiation. Right. Just outside the event horizon, there are these spontaneous particle pairs that are formed out of their gravitational energy field. And one particle escapes, the other falls in, and that effectively subtracts mass from the black hole. We will lose those black holes in 10 to the 30th years. We think the proton might decay. If the proton decays, we're thinking also happens in around 10 to the 30th years. Structure of all matter, composed of protons and neutrons. Free neutrons decay, but protons are the stablest particle. There's the supermassive black holes in the centers of galaxies. They take longer to evaporate. They take 10 to the 100 years to evaporate. You know what 10 to the 100 is? What number that is?
That's 1,000. I did not know that.
So that's a lot of years. All matter is just scattered evenly into the vacuum of space, whatever's left of matter, and the universe dies. Conservatives say taxing is bad. You're going to tax and spend.
Stop taxing the rich.
Okay. Well, here's an interesting fact. If you rank states by who receives the most amount of money from the government relative to how much tax they pay, those states are dominated by red states in the top 10 recipients of tax money. That if you want to drop taxes, go ahead. You will be hurt by it more than California and New York, which are net tax paying states.
Right, that's true.
And they're both blue, of course, but they're net tax paying states. So more revenue raised from those two states goes to other states than back to those states themselves. Why is everyone on the dating app trying to find people who are similar to them? If opposites attract were a deep truth about human relations, then the app would find the most opposite person they could possibly find for you, but they don't. In the first encounter, oh, you like that too, I like that too, let's do that together. And I have a more nuanced view of that, which is, if I'm gonna spend my life with someone, I wanna be able to learn from them. And if they're exactly like me, I'm not gonna learn a damn thing. So I value enough overlap so that you can share things in common, like off the bat, but enough differences so that you can explore each other's interests and desires and then live a life of exploration together.
That's beautiful, Neil.
I once taught a class at the Hayden Planetarium, evening class for adults. Someone in there at the end said, you know, I can cast your sign. And I said, really? He said, okay, you're a Cancer. And I said, no. So, okay, a Taurus. I said, no. And then like 8 signs later.
It's like halfway through.
No, more than halfway.
More than halfway.
Yeah, 8 is more than 6 of 12.
6,
okay. So it was like the 9th guess. She said, you must be a Libra then. And I said, yes, a Libra. I knew it.
You're like, no, you didn't.
This year, I will celebrate my 36th year of marriage.
Congratulations.
Yeah. There's enough different about my wife. She grew up in Alaska and I grew up in the Bronx. Kind of different. So a lot comes out. I visited her folks up in Alaska. That was fun for me. I've taken her through the streets of New York. That's, I don't know if I call it fun, but it was different.
It was an experience for her.
And for it to work, you have to be perennially curious. Because if you become ossified in who and what you are and in your ideas, then your partner will want to show you things and then you'll decline interest in them because you're somehow content in your own little world. That's not going to work either.
Yeah, there's no bonding experience. And you started your book with, you had a quote from one of the Apollo astronauts where he was talking
Apollo
about,
14.
Yes, Apollo 14. He's talking about, I thought that was a perfect like thesis quote.
Yeah. In fact, can I recite the quote?
Yes, you can.
May
I would love you to.
Okay. Edgar Mitchell.
Yes.
And I thank his daughter for giving me permission to open the book with this quote, because he passed a few years ago. He says, you develop an instant global consciousness, a people orientation, an intense dissatisfaction with the state of the world, and a compulsion to do something about it. From out there on the moon, international politics looks so petty. You want to grab a politician by the scruff of the neck and drag him 250,000 miles out and say, look at that, you son of a...
Incredible, Neil.
Ooh.